Okay, so like login successfully is a particular, so test cases are something that we will discuss, that is login successfully. Okay, and then next is log out. Okay, successfully we will see. Then later to it I will say uh, search search the notification. That is, this is a tool that we use in IT Learn to communicate with the trainees, so that any other notifications that we want to send to the trainees, we can send it through this particular panel. Okay, so once we log in, we click here on notifications. Sorry, let me log in back. What's the issue? Interact.com slash. Okay, I don't know what is problem with Google Chrome. So what I will try to show you here is those different options which we have. Login. Okay, so I will type in my credentials. These all things we will try to do with the test scripts. Okay, @gmail.com. Okay, if the login is failed, then we should verify if this message is coming properly, and the test case also passes if saying that your invalid credentials are not allowing you to log in. Just a minute. Oh, I guess I have forgot my password. Just a minute, let me check. Okay, so if I update my password, oh, so I will try to log in with this. Okay, now, uh, okay, so now once we are logged in here, we will try to click all different options here. Okay, edit profile and see if we can make changes to any of these things, and then we will simply do logout. These operations we will try to do with the Selenium scripts. Okay, so let me start the Eclipse. Okay, so now we know that how to configure Eclipse for Python as well as for the for the PyDev perspective. Okay, let me use my default workspace. So yesterday I was starting to explain the particular PyDev project how to create. Okay, so what I will try to show you is I will launch the Interact app, that is the website. Okay, and try to perform some actions. Okay, so now I will say new project. Now I know that it is a PyDev package project, so I will say new project. Okay, and say today I will start with Selenium with robot. Sorry, I will simply say Selenium with Python. Okay, this is the place where my project workspace will be saved, and I will use default interpreter as Python, and then I will say finish. Okay, once I have this package, then I will create a simple py file as of now. Okay, say pydev, and then I will say launch application. Okay, okay, so now I have to start programming using Selenium. Now how to start in Python is we will first say from Selenium import WebDriver. Now what is WebDriver? WebDriver is a class which has all the methods that it will work with the browser. Okay, so now we will see uh, the next thing is, once I have this, what can I take? First I will create a WebDriver instance. Okay, so now WebDriver dot, I have to launch Firefox. Okay, so I will say okay, I will say Firefox. Now in any so to load any web URL, you have to say driver dot get. Okay, so what the help says is it loads a web page in a current browser session. Okay, so just a quick thing, I want to ask everyone. I hope you have gone through the demo sessions and like you have got the a bit understanding about how the Selenium actually interacts with the browser. Tim, just can you reply? Okay, okay, fine. So now driver.get is a method that will help us to load that particular page. So what happens is with this web driver, it actually invokes the Firefox browser installed. Okay, once it invokes, the handle of the browser window is stored as a variable in driver. So once you have a handle for that browser, you have to drive all the different actions on browser using that handle. So that's why we say it as a driver. It drives the whole browser actions. That's why the name we give driver. You can give any other name also. It's just the name of variable should make sense. That's why we have given the name as driver. Okay. Now what I have to do once the browser is invoked, I have to load that URL. What is that URL? We have to work on uh, Interact application, right? So let me copy this. Okay, copy and then paste. Okay, so now from Selenium WebDriver I have invoked Firefox and I'm trying to load that particular URL. Let me try to run this. Let us see if it does. So if you see, there is only one instance running of Firefox. We are expecting a new Firefox browser to launch. See here, it launched. Okay, so it launched that new browser for us. Okay, and we are seeing this login page, right? Now the script got executed successfully as of now. So let me first check. I have to keep my console window also open if to see if there are any errors. I see there are no errors as of now, right? So now what I see, driver.get is the one that has been executed. Make sure that you always maximize your window when you launch it. So I say maximize browser window. This is a way that you can actually maximize your window, right? So it is now anyways we have a control of that particular whole browser, so we can do different operations. Okay, now next what I have to see, what is the title of that browser, right? Title of the web page loaded, right? Now what is the title means here? I mean is this is the one interactive app. Okay, for training I should be able to print this. Okay, let me check if I can do that. Print driver dot title returns the title of the current page. Okay, so let me try to run this, and once I am done with this, make sure you always close the browser. Okay, this is very important to understand. Okay, you can use driver.close or driver.quit. Driver.quit will close uh, only the associated, quits the driver first of all and close every associated window. Okay, so it is always preferred to use driver.quit. It will not only kill only the browser which has been invoked, but also other browsers which are related to that driver. Okay, if in a single program you have invoked multiple browser windows, okay, and you have to do driver.quit, then it will make sure the driver handle is having handle of multiple browser windows, so it will close all of them. Let me see if anyone is having any queries. Any queries so far, team? Any queries here? Team, I'm open for queries here. Anyone having any queries here? No. Okay, fine. So now once we have this, so we have to make sure you gracefully close the browser. Okay, once we are done with this, then we see that we have written a successful program where we are launching an interrupt app, and then we are doing we are fetching some details. Okay, now these details are used for assertions, for doing some tests in the program. As of now, I am not going to show you just the test, but just to see how to find the different elements. Okay, so the next thing is how to find the different elements. Okay, so now there are multiple ways by which you can find the UI elements. Okay, now if you see this application, okay, let me rerun this. I will show you how to rerun. Yeah, so once I will run this, you will see a driver.title will be printed for us. It will maximize the window first, and then it will try to fetch the title. Okay, it immediately executed. So if you can see, it printed us the driver.title, the title of the particular web page. Okay, so there are many other activities that you can do with the driver to fetch the details at that point. Okay, now next we come to the application. You know, suppose I log out here, we are on this page. Okay, once we launch the app, we are on this page. Now first I have to see if that particular page has any option that I can click. So login is a button. Okay, every web element that you see has a particular uh, tag details. Okay, the element details. We call every option in the UI as elements. Okay, how we will find them? Using inspect. Okay, so I see that in inspect, okay, this is a particular tag that represents that particular login button. Okay, again I will see this. I have right clicked on login button and I have sent this. So what I see is this particular option. Okay, this particular option is driving my login button. So how will I do a click on this button? Okay, I see that it is of tag A, okay, and of class this. Okay, so team, I hope you are able to understand me what I'm trying to say here. Team, I need your reply in yes or no. Okay, okay. So every web UI has a particular options, okay, to click button, or multiple options. How will you find their elements, how will you locate these elements using the driver? The Selenium WebDriver tries to find these elements using their particular HTML tags. Okay, so now I see that this is a particular tag A. Okay, and it has a different attributes. So these are the attributes of that particular element: the class, the href, okay, and it has a text for its own tag, right? So what does A means? It is a linked text. Okay, so there are multiple ways by which we can find the element. Okay, let us say there are, let us find first today, find the login button by, suppose, by link text, right? How will I do that? I will say driver dot find element by, see, find element, this is a very key and very commonly used method to find different elements and locate those elements. You have to tell the name of, you have to use a correct method and the correct parameter you have to send. Okay, now I know that it is a linked text. How did I know that it is a linked text? Because it is of type A, the tag is of type A, and it has this uh, text inside it. Do I have any other element in this UI having the link text as login? No, I don't have any other option here. So it is always preferred to use login text, the text option. Okay, so I will say find element by link text. Okay, so link text, and what is the link text parameter? I will say login. How did I choose this as a text? Because here, if you see this particular thing, inside the tag there is a login thing mentioned, right? This is a text that my driver will try to find, okay, inside the link text. Okay, and what action I have to do on it? There are many actions. Once I find it, I will see click, or I will say, is it enabled, is it selected, right? Now this is not a text box, that's why I am not going to type anything here. I have to simply perform click operations. Okay, I will do a click. Let's see if it performs a click operation for us. So in this way, a driver, a web driver actually tries to find or locate that element based on the type of finding method you have specified. Oh, sorry. Let me put a sleep because it is closing immediately. Uh, so let me put time, sorry, time dot sleep, say for 5 seconds. I am importing this time library, modules. Okay, it's a simple time dot sleep which will make my program halt for 5 seconds. Okay, so let me run this. So as I was saying, find element by link text. Similarly, for different elements you have a different types of tags, and locating them has a different way of using different way of using the locator methods. So if you see, I have clicked a login button now. There you go, right? Once the login was clicked, that it was navigating to the credentials page where I have to specify it. Okay. Now, this is by link text which I found this element. What if, is there any other way? Yes, there is always a other way called as XPath. Okay, let me try to explain you the XPath today. And let me comment out this. Here I will say login button by XPath. Team, are you aware of all these terms? XPath, ID. I just wanted to know from you. Okay. Okay, great. So, so Pawan, like from you, like I didn't hear any. Pawan, can you reply, please? Okay. So, so once we have this XPath, okay, once we start, what is XPath is for particular element, we have to find how can I reach up to this particular value. Okay, XPath always starts with the tags, right? For example, if uh, let us say element is having a tag like this, suppose a, as what we see here, okay, and it has id equal to suppose abc as the id, okay, and suppose that it ends with this way. Okay, now how can I find the XPath for this? Okay, always try to give a double forward slash. It can be either a relative way to find the XPath or absolute way, right? So once I do double forward slash a, what does here means, the format is you have to give the tag name here, okay, and after the tag name in square brackets you have to give at the rate attribute at the rate attribute name, any attribute that will help you to find your element uniquely, attribute name, and then equal to in single quotes give the value of that attribute. Okay, so in this way, if I try to replace it, so this will be my actual XPath at the rate. So A is the tag, okay, and I can use ID directly to find that element, or I can use XPath also. So if A is the one thing, okay, then I will say at the rate ID, because ID is the attribute for that element, equal to ABC. ABC. So similarly, for this particular element, that is the login button, I see that there is a tag A, class is intro login, and the href is another attribute having this value. You never know, the href can change anytime, so it's always preferred not to use href as attribute. But uh, as of now I see only a class attribute is there, so I will use this class attribute. Let me copy the value of it. Okay, so what will I do here is I will say driver dot find. element by XPath. Okay, and I will give the values in double quotes. Sorry. So how will I write? I will say XPath is double forward slash A in the brackets at the rate class, because the name of the attribute was class, equal to, in single quotes, what I will write is the value. Okay, let me see if it actually finds the element, and I'm doing click. Okay, let me see if again it is able to perform. Note here, I have commented the code here, so this operation won't be able to perform. This is the way that I will try to find that element and click the operation. Let me check. So will I be able? There you go. Again, it found the login button correctly, and then it did the click operation properly. Okay, so in this way I try to show you with different locators, two different locators, how we can actually perform the different click operations. Okay, so now next is uh, about typing the values in text box. Okay, right, now we know that once we click login, okay, I want to send some values here, right? So that's why what I will do, I will say I will find this element first. I will right click here and I will say inspect element. Okay, so it navigated me to this particular tag. Always remember, every type of element has a standard way of writing it in a particular tag. Okay, so login was a link text, so it was in a tag. Now this is a text box, that's why it is in a input tag. You can always check the type of that attribute. It is a text attribute, right? Now you note that there is no value in, there is no text written here in the tag of input, because it's a text type of element, right? So in that case, what I can do is I will see if there is a ID element. Yes, there is a ID element, user login of type, right? Is there any other element having this ID? Let me check. What I will do simply search, because I want to, if I can find the element simply by ID, why would I go for XPath or link text or any other option, right? So let me check if user login is available anywhere in this page. So how will I do? Control copy, Control F. If you see, I am searching here. So I think there is no other text apart from login apart from this place. So simply I will try to find this element by ID. Okay, let me do that. What is it? User underscore login. So once I click login, then I will say driver dot find element by ID. And what is the ID? User login. Okay, and what I will do, I have to type the values inside this text box. So as of now, is there anything called type? No. What can I do? I will say send keys. It simulates the typing into the element. So send keys. What will I type? The username from my ID. Okay. So once I do this, it will type the values there. Similarly, for password, what can I do for the password? I will inspect the element. Okay, so here you go. So user underscore pass is the ID. So simply I will use this ID, driver dot find element by ID, and I will pass user underscore pass dot send keys, wherein what values I am going to send? It is the password. So the password which I had set here, I am going to set it. Later I am going to change the password for my account. You can change the password always. Okay. So once you do this, I am sending these keys, right? Simply. And then again I want to say login option. I will select this option, training. Okay, how will I select it? So this is a radio button. Okay, now you can see the type is radio, means either the value can be toggled between these two values, right? So now I see input type is the particular type of this radio button. Okay, now I will use login role. Okay, so I will find this element by ID and I will say login role, driver dot find element by ID, and I will say login role. And here again I am trying to tell you that what I have to do, I have to do click, because it's a radio button. Okay, once I do that, then I have to click login button here. Now it is it a button or is it a link text? It's something we can get to know. Now please note it here, team, but we have the same ID for Ashish. Ashish is saying yes. Yes, Ashish, I am coming to that. You see that there are two buttons, there are two options having the same ID and the same tags. But how are we going to differentiate which one I have to select? Is using the indexes. I hope Ashish, I answered your query. I will show those things here right now. Did I answer you? Yeah. So definitely, that's a very good proactive question from so so what he is asking is, now how will my WebDriver understand when there are two elements having the same uh, tags and attribute values? It becomes difficult, right, to find simply by ID or something. Okay, now I see that driver dot find element by ID. The reason I took this as a statement because I wanted to fail this statement and make you aware of indexes. Okay, so so okay, yeah. So the thing is, this will not work because when it comes to this statement, driver dot find element by ID login role, it will see that there are two IDs having login role. One is this option, okay, and one is this option, that is this option, right? So how will the driver differentiate which ID I have to select? it is based on the XPath indexes. Okay, so now if you see, this is a particular tag at index 1. Okay, and it is at index 2. Okay, so now how can I find this I can do with even Selenium ID at runtime. But as of now, let me show you Selenium ID. Okay, now I have to launch this app again. So Selenium ID helps you to find if the locator that you are going to use, if it actually locates that element correctly or not. Okay, now I will start with the base URL. Okay, then I see that I have to click on on this particular option. So target, so let me go to that page first, because it always launches from here. Okay, so let me start to record it. Okay, so if I say record, then it will say click on login. Okay, then I will say training. Okay, now if you note, what it did is it tried to use this XPath. Okay, uh, what it tried to do is it tried to find the XPath. Okay, and then it used the index. Can you see the team? The it has, oh sorry, can you see here at this point? Yeah, if I say find, it highlights that particular option. I hope you all are able to see that thing, right? It is highlighting that option. If my XPath is correct, then it will find that option. Okay, and if you say that I want to select a trainer option, then I will just change the index to 1. See here, it highlights that option, the trainer radio button. So I will use these XPath as my value. Okay, if I have to work on trainee option, then I will select 2 as the index. Okay, let me copy this. So in this way, Selenium ID helps you to find the elements, and at the runtime itself it will help you to make you understand whether your locator strategy will work or not. Okay, so let me go back to the code. Okay, now I know that this will definitely not work, so I will say find element by XPath. Okay, and I will provide that XPath. I will paste that value simply here. So this is the one, and this is how it will work. Okay, now what did I tell XPath is you find this element. If you find more than one element in the page, go to the second index. So always the indexes of the XPath are starting from 1. Okay, in this page, if you again note, if you note that there are two elements with ID as login role, and amongst this is the first index according to the XPath, and this is the second index. Okay, now we will move to, so I hope Ashish I answered your query. Ashish, can you please reply? Yes, we can use other values for also XPath. But the thing is, if you see, so value equal to trainee is one thing. Okay, value equal to trainer is one thing. So I can use uniquely, and just to show the indexes, I try to, you might come across in your projects where all the attributes are same. You know, there are two. If suppose in your project there are two radio buttons, okay, having all their attributes same like id, type, value, everything. Now just because the value attribute is different for these two options, then again we can simply find xpath by using @input and value equal to trainee or trainer. Okay, but at the same time, if the value attribute was not there, for example, just in case, I'm considering the case where the developers didn't put value attribute, then how will uh, locate either of these elements? It is the only indexes that can help you, provided the element is stored at the same index while the developers are writing their code. If the the position of these elements change, then the index will change. Okay, you have to make sure accordingly. I hope I answered you, right? So value is another attribute that uniquely identifies uh, between these two between these two options. Okay, so this is one way of finding the element by using a XPath index. Let me using XPath indexes. Okay, or else, sorry, this is home and I'm copying. Otherwise, we can do as simple XPath. That is, login role is there anyways, but we will not use this attribute because we have a training @value is equal to training. Okay, so what is it? Let me reconfirm it. So value is equal to training. Okay, so now let me try to run this code. So what all things we are trying to do here, I will try to show the typing of element in a text box, and then I will find the element either with indexes. So let me show you first with this option. Okay, let me comment this. Let me try to see if it works. So it clicked the option. Let us see if it actually sends the key. What is it saying? Unable to locate the element. Why is it saying unable to locate the element? User login. Unable to locate the element method ID. Okay. So is there a issue? What is it saying? It could not locate this element. Let me try to find. ID is user login. Yeah. Now the reason is when it actually tried to find this, there was the browser was not loaded at that point of time. So let me put some hard sleeves. As of now it is okay. Let me show you the optimized way. There is called as implicit waits. Whenever you perform any operation and you are waiting for a new page, that is called as implicit waits. Okay, now when I say I have clicked on a login button first time, it comes to the login credential page, right? But for that, the page is loading. We have to wait for a particular time for it to load completely. So there is something called as sticky timeout. That is implicit wait. What it says is sets a sticky timeout to implicit wait for an element to be found or the command to complete. This method only needs to be called one time per session, right? So now implicit wait I will call and I will simply give a buffer time of 10 seconds. Okay, this is all in seconds. Let's see if it re-executes our code. I have put this wait simply so that I can wait for the element to be available. There you go. Can you see? It, it was waiting for that element to be available. Okay. Once that happens, it actually found this element and it clicked login. Okay. So once it clicks login, we were expecting it to login and see if it actually performed. So again here I will say driver dot implicit wait 10 seconds. Okay, here it will wait for 10 seconds and then once the page is loaded after logging in successfully, it will wait for 5 seconds. This is a hard sleep. We call this as a hard sleep. Anyways, this sleep will execute for 5 seconds. So let us see. Okay, so now we saw that it was not clicking the login button. Okay, why didn't it do that? Is because our XPath which we mentioned is not working. Okay, why is it not working? Because this was the way that it specified. It is in the brackets. So I have to give XPath in this way. I removed those brackets, right? So I should not have removed those brackets according to the Selenium ID we could find out. Let us rerun this and see if it now this time able to find the actually I'm not performing any click operation here, sorry. This is a, sorry. Actually, my expert was selecting the radio button here, and now I see that I want to say after this driver dot find element, driver dot find element by, now it is a button, right? So we can even say simply submit, find element. So here submit button is also there. If I say this is a login button, okay, see here, can you see the class is submit? Okay, if the class name is submit, then I can simply use driver dot, so first we have to find element. Okay, I will find element by tag name, or maybe the simple tag name. What is the tag name? It is button dot submit. Okay, so what I did is in the whole page we have this element only of type button. Okay, now there is also a forgot button. Let's see what it is. It is of type A. It is a link text. It is not a type of button. Okay, so we have in the whole page a option of login button which is of type button, right? The tag is button and the class is submit. So instead of me doing click, I can say simply submit. Sometimes let me tell you one more problem is, if the page is a single page application, like if the login page is very at the bottom of the page and it is not available in the visible area. Right now when the page is loaded, the login button is available in the visible area. That's why you can find that element. Suppose this button is available somewhere down in the non-visible area, then you have to scroll that page. But how can you do that without scrolling the page is, you can simply say find that button tag and do submit. So the click operation, the send keys, all these operations are performed only on those elements which are on the visible area. Okay, if the browser shows this element, then only you can perform these operations. Else you have to scroll the browser and make the element visible in the browser and then perform those actions. Okay, so as of now I see that I want to perform this submit action. So let me run this. So I will find that element of button tag and then I will say submit. Okay, if that login button would have been at somewhere down the page and not visible in the particular visible area, then submit would have definitely clicked on it. See, it clicked on the login button and then it logged in for me. So in this way, today I tried to show you how actually we can perform different actions with the different elements using the driver, that is the WebDriver instance. Okay, so team, this is all about today's session. Tomorrow what I will show you is uh, like this is one test where I could successfully log in, right? So this is one test case. Now next test case is once you log in, then how you can do search and find different elements and log out is something. These are some basic test operations that we will do through our scripts and organize it in a uh, framework way is something I can show you. Our main intention of this course is to drive the whole test automation using robot framework, for which you should have basic understanding of how to write scripts in Python. Okay, that's why I took the course first to make you understand about Python first, and then I am trying to show you the Selenium WebDriver scripts, how to write them in Python. Okay, once we are uh, good to understand on these things, then we will quickly jump on the robot framework, where we can actually write the English readable kind of code. So as of now, if you see, this looks like a programming language where you are initializing variables and in the driver and WebDriver.Firefox. This looks like a typical programming language. However, when we start robot framework, then you will see the uh, you will see the power of that particular framework, where it makes life more easy, and the test reports that are coming up for that particular framework, those are very interactive, and it appeals the person who is looking for the test run reports. Okay, so as of now, this is the thing. Tomorrow, sorry, not tomorrow, it is on Monday that we will see how we can actually work with the different more options after we log in. Okay, so team, I am done for today's part. Let me know like if there are any more queries. I have 5 more minutes right now, so quickly let me answer your queries if you have any. What is the difference? Can we have more than one implicit wait in a session code? My code is not working if I'm putting second implicit wait. Oh, Ashish, are you trying it right away? So there were queries coming from Ashish that is there any difference between wait, implicit wait and sleep? Yeah. So as I mentioned, implicit wait waits for the browser to be loaded. Okay, so you have to give a buffer time to it. Suppose you think that someday you know someday the page might not load properly in within 10 seconds, or within 60 seconds it might load at any time completely. So give 60 seconds as the buffer time. The page, if the internet speed is very fast, it can load the page within 5 seconds or within 10 seconds. But if you give 60 seconds, it will not wait for 60 seconds there. It will wait for the page to be loaded. Okay, once it loads, then at that second it moves further. Okay, but if you say time dot sleep, that is hard sleep, it will definitely wait for so many seconds. So in that case, if you would have used time dot sleep, then it would have waited for, say, if you would have put time dot sleep 60 seconds, saying that your page might load at any point of time within 60 seconds, but I will wait for 60 seconds, then that is not an ideal way of programming, right? In when your program is running, you should say that we will wait for particular set of time. If the page loads within that, then we will move further. That is the difference between implicit and normal sleep. So can we have more than one implicit wait in a session code? Why not? As you see, I have used multiple times driver dot implicit wait. See here, implicitly wait.
Hi, this is Ashish. So we can use this implicitly wait only if the browser is loading, right? If we
No,
are
no,
on the
even
browser,
no, even for after clicking these elements, if you are expecting any other refresh in the page, and after refresh, if the page is expected to bring up with any more values, you can put implicit wait.
Okay, but like if I am the page is loaded and I have performed few actions and then I am putting that wait before quitting the browser. So in this case, it will not work, right? It will simply quit the page, correct?
Yeah, see,
Like,
what I mean to say, driver dot implicitly wait, you can put n number of times in your code unless you have a live session. I mean to say, the session which is alive. Okay, and if you before quitting, definitely you have to call it. After quitting the browser, there is no point in calling this driver dot implicitly wait. See, now there were a couple of times in the session where my page was loading, right? So first I did click option, and then I waited for a particular time. So within 10 seconds my page got loaded and it moved further, and then again I clicked second login button, and then I waited for 10 more seconds. I can remove this time dot sleep this time. Okay, because I don't want to put any hard sleeps in my code. Did you get my point?
okay, I think what was wrong with my code was uh, I was I was thinking that it will wait for 10 seconds if I'll use implicitly wait. But the thing is here, once the page is loaded, it will simply quit, right? You have put driver quit, so once the you click on submit button and the page is loaded, immediately it will
Okay,
quit the browser, right?
let me quickly show you the example. 60
I got it.
you got it right?
No, no, here before quit, scroll down, you have quit it, right? Somewhere down.
Yeah. So wherever you put it,
So here,
no, it doesn't make.
no, no. So
Yeah.
above this, you have submit, right?
Yes.
Above this implicit, we have submit. So once we click on submit, once it will click on submit, it will just wait for the browser to be loaded, right? Once the browser will be loaded, it will simply quit, correct?
Exactly.
So what I was thinking, if we give 60 seconds, then it will wait for 60 seconds. I was confused between the sleep and then implicitly.
No,
Now
no,
I
no.
got it.
It will not wait for 60 seconds. It is the buffer time that we are considering, that if the internet goes slow while the test automation is running, then what we should do, we should handle it properly, right? So if someday your internet is very fast, then your page will get loaded within 5 seconds also. But my test automation script should not fail by simply uh, you know by simply loading that page for within and after it loads after 5 seconds, uh, you know then implicit wait is something that will keep a track of the browser. Okay, and time dot sleep is a not it is not a correct way to program, because if your test scripts are running, suppose your test automation is running, if you put such hard sleeps unnecessarily, you have to wait for that number of seconds by default. Okay, so during the runtime, how will you check if the page has been loaded and then you have to move further? Implicit wait is the ideal way, and that is the utility provided by the Selenium WebDriver. So time.sleep
No,
is a utility that comes from the Python code. Even in case of Java, there is a thread.sleep, if you remember.
yeah, I got it. Like,
Okay. So I hope today's session was a bit introductory and you got to understand the basics of different elements and how to find them. So are there any more queries, team, so that I can quickly call off the today's session?
just one thing. So this time dot sleep. So do we need to call something before using time dot sleep? Because when I am using this time dot sleep, it is throwing error.
No, see
I
at
think
the,
there
can
must.
you see here at the top? You have to import that time module.
Oh yeah, I didn't import that. Okay, yeah,
No,
I'll
no, it's
import that.
okay. It's okay. If you are new to any programming language, definitely you should understand the basics first. So it's okay. Like the thing is, best part is you are trying on your own, so you will face the issue. You will face problems, and then you will try to understand what things solved your problem. In that way only you will learn things. So definitely team, I recommend after everyday course, please try to, imitate the same program which I am showing you on the during this session. Okay. So anyways, I'm going to share these scripts with you. So definitely I saw that these scripts were not shared somehow. So they will be very soon shared with you so that you can refer them, when you're practicing. So I'm calling off team. Uh, Thank you for your time, and thank you for your patience, because since yesterday there were a couple of logistic issues at my place. Like there was a power cut down, and it was feeling embarrassing for me, but still it's okay. Like I appreciate your patience, and see you on Monday, team. And meanwhile, please go through the recording sessions which are uploaded on our website for the same session, and let us know if if you can mail us the queries on this weekend, and let us know. Maybe on weekends I will be able to reply you. Okay. So see you on Monday, team. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.
For sure.